kind of, curtailing off of that, we're living in this time right now where everybody's sitting at their desk all day long, staring at screens. There's less and less time in between screens. So you mentioned migraine. So I'm just wondering, like, what else? Like, how is this screen time affecting our well-being?
Yeah. Well, we'll go way back and just talk about like evolution for a half a second. Is that, if you just think like the modern human back 50,000 years is pretty similar to the modern human today as far as brain development and everything goes. So since at least the last 50,000 years, we wake up when the sun comes up and go to sleep when the sun goes down. Like you're talking about tens of thousands of years of that. We haven't even really had electricity for that long when you put it in scope, let alone high intensity artificial light. So the research is coming in at a rapid pace. And just like we found it, anything artificial generally doesn't turn out to be great for us. And so we talk about artificial sweeteners and just all the synthesized things in our life. So light is the same thing. Replicating nature's greatest resource is never going to be done in the same way the sun does it, but it does have similarities. And that's where blue light comes in. So basically, you're awake when the sun is up, you go to sleep when the sun is down. When the sun goes down, that disappearance of that blue light causes your body to say, hey, it's time to start producing melatonin. And melatonin is a chemical that helps your body start to reach layman's terms, reach a restful space as you lead up to going to bed. So it's a long process. It's not like you make melatonin and then you pass out. So there's a process to going to sleep. That's why, like in kids, like a bedtime routine of taking the bath, reading the book, all of that is focused on sleep cycle. It really wasn't that long ago, like maybe 400 years ago, 300 years ago, that humans actually used to like, or maybe not even 300, 200 years ago, you would wake up in the middle of the night and you'd go to sleep about 7:30. You'd wake up in the middle of the night for an hour, smoke a pipe, read a book, go back to sleep, and then wake up again when the sun comes up because your sleep cycle was 11, 12 hours and not 6 to 8 like everybody says they claim to shoot for. So my point to that is that wavelength that's mimicking the sun off all these devices, just add that up throughout the day. Your lights in your house, your lights in your bathroom, the dashboard of your car, your phone, your computer monitor, your gaming. You stack it, and your brain gets to a point where it's like, I don't know what's day, night. I don't know what the hell is going on. So poor sleep is the number one issue with blue light's impact on gamers or people using digital devices. But people don't know what poor sleep is. And really, that's the absence of REM sleep or REM sleep, rapid eye movement. No REM sleep means bad sleep. You wake up remembering your dreams, you didn't reach REM sleep. So that's really where we focus our conversation. We can go into that a little bit more if you like.
Man, that's crazy. Number one, now I know a scientific reason why my granddad would go to sleep at 7:30 every night, because he grew up like on a farm where this stuff didn't exist, and like he was used to going to bed when the sun went down and waking up when the sun came up. And number two, I think we should all wake up in the middle of the night, smoke a pipe, read a book, and go back to sleep.
Is it awesome? It's kind of nostalgic. But you say about your grandpa's, you think about it, dinner was at like 4:00, and usually there wasn't lunch. It was breakfast, dinner, supper, right? So you'd like eat breakfast, you'd eat dinner at like noon, and then you'd eat supper at like 3 or 4, and then you were sleeping by 6:30 because you were up at like 5 a.m. with the crows, So
yeah,
that wasn't not uncommon. The sleep cycle was much, much longer prior to all the technological revolutions we've had than it is today.
Yeah, that's so super interesting, man. I'd love to get more into the like the REM sleep stuff, because I feel like I sleep through the night most of the time. I just got this fancy Apple Watch, right? And I've talked about it a couple times on the show, and it does track my sleep cycles if I wear it. It can sense if I'm awake or if I'm asleep. And it's crazy. I'll wake up, sometimes I'll check out the sleep app, and it's like, yeah, it shows me that I woke up like 4 times in the middle of the night, and like I don't really remember it. My wife would tell you otherwise. She tells me I sit up and talk in my sleep and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, like remembering your dreams and that means you're not entering REM sleep. I'm like, I remember my dreams sometimes. So that's really interesting.